Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, well, extended week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your keys to the fortnight ahead, you have the Devil card and the Temperance card. It's really interesting that you get these. One, because they fall literally either side of each other in the major arcana. So the Temperance card is number 14, the Devil card is number 15. Now, although their sequence of numbers happens that way, I kind of feel like these happen the other way round. And what this suggests to me is this week there is a sense of personal freedom and or liberation. This could actually be a week where you really decide to let some expectation go. This might become, it might come because of a realization. It might come from a conversation that's had. The reason I say this is, yes, the Devil card is, addictions and temptations and all the rest of it. But then you've got the Temperance card, and this suggests some sort of not self-imposed, but self-claimed liberation. This is like you releasing yourself from something, or saying, actually, you know what, given what this is supposed to be, or what I'm supposed to be doing, scrap that, right? It's like you're really taking your own life in your own hands and commanding your world in a really sort of in like a very self-liberated way. It's like, I kind of feel like this is you dropping the shackles of expectation as well, like where it is that you're supposed to do something, or where you should do this or you shouldn't do that. It's almost like you're dropping that and saying, no, you know what, that's what I'm expected to do. This is what's imposed on me from the outside or from the external world, and I choose to liberate myself from that. This is kind of like a moment where you're taking your, life by the short and curlies and saying, listen, we're going to do this, but we're going to do this on my terms. Like, in a lot of ways, this is very self-empowering, which, is wonderful. Now, with the Devil card and the Temperance card, this could also suggest, now I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, but for those of you that have been on or going through healing journeys, particularly where you're battling things like addiction, etc., this could be a powerful fortnight for you, where you have a moment and it's like, you know what, I needed this once upon a time to do this. I needed this once upon a time to get through my day, but I no longer do. And, that's not to say that you won't have stumbles, or, that you may not have moments moving forward and, this is like a cold turkey moment and you're completely healed. It's about you really owning that journey, whatever it might be. For those of you that have had challenges with healthcare professionals, of getting what you need, etc., this kind of suggests that that's coming to an end. There's a lot of self-empowerment here, and I absolutely am here for it. All right, so whatever your habitual patterns might have been, regardless of whatever fed into making those habits and patterns arise, it's like you're getting to this space where you can say, no, you know what, I'm in control here. So with that said, I just want to say a heartfelt massive thank you for all of your support throughout 2021. It really does mean a lot that you guys have been there for me. For those of you, I know there's a few ride or die in every sign that have been with me from the very beginning. It really does mean a lot, so thank you so much. If you are a continued subby, Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. So for your actions and options, you got the Queen of Cups, right? So literally this is about you choosing to nurture and nourish your own soul. This is about starting from within before you give, do, or be anything to anyone else outside of yourself. Now, this also suggests that you are, maybe for some of you, you're on the journey to becoming a healer or a therapist or a counselor. Maybe some of you are on the journey towards becoming a tarot reader or an astrologer or something of that nature. This, in this case as well, it suggests that maybe you're in that, you know, like what we call healthy obsession, where you want to learn something so much that you read books about it, you watch podcasts, like you just saturate yourself with something because it feels like the path that you're supposed to be going down. This feels like that, and that Queen of Cups is like you really feeding or nourishing your soul this week or over the next fortnight. In ways that are like I said, self-empowering, or ways that are building you up from the inside out. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Two of Wands. This is really nice. So one thing that I will say to you, this could be a week where maybe you start to realize that some of the connections that you have are more of a drain rather than, building you up. And this is that whole thing, right? We all have people in our lives who, you know, once we see them, we feel energized, we feel happy, we feel like on a really good high, and like, do you know what I mean? Like you feel really like just in a good space once you interact with them. And then you get people that you don't necessarily feel that way in. This is going to be a week where you start to get really honest with yourself about who does this to you and how much you're actually here for it from here on in. And, you know, a part of this self-liberation, let's say, is very likely to be you saying, okay, you know what, I don't feel good around this person, I don't feel good about myself or my goals or the things that I want to create when this person is around. And you know, you're going to have to adjust accordingly, and maybe, just maybe, that is the decision that the Two of Wands is having you make. Remember, this is a card of action, right? Lots of people say, oh, it's about making a decision, and it's, you know, indecision and stuff like that. Not for me. For me, this is a card of action. You know, in the Thoth Tarot by Crowley, he calls this card Dominion. This is about staking out your place and your space in the world. And if you have to do this through communication, and this has been building up for a while for you guys, right? You've slowly but surely kind of gone through this period where you've been broken down and now you're building back up. And in that, it's like where you would usually sort of try to do the diplomatic thing or try to adjust for other people, you're starting to get a lot more forthright, a lot more honest. You know, if just with yourself, right? This is great. And not only that, because you're finding this newfound sense of personal freedom and liberation, you're drawing or attracting to you all of the good stuff that comes with the Two of Wands. Lucrative connections, all right? For those of you that are employed by somebody else, maybe this is something to do with work, right? Where you're saying to yourself, okay, this week, I'm going to speak up about what it is that I need. If I'm not getting it, then I'm going to have to make a little bit more noise. For those of you that are, oh, come on, brain, self-employed, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, etc. I mean, especially because you've got this with the Temperance card, this could be you maybe doing some remedial action on your business. Maybe this is for some of you because the Devil card's there as well. Maybe you're doing some damage control, you know, very, very possible. And if that comes up, again, it's just about who you're connected to. You've got to pay attention to this week. When it comes to those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, this really suggests to me that you are maybe looking further afield in the love department. Maybe this is you hitting up your network to say, you know what, yes, these are colleagues, yes, these are friends or ex-colleagues, etc. But actually, you know what, I want to widen my net a little bit. I don't know why, I just feel like this is more on the love front for you guys. Speaking of love and relations, you have the Seven of Wands. So for those of you that are partnered, this does suggest to me that maybe you're having to either not fight for a partner, but maybe you're having to, you know, do something on behalf of a partner. This means, you know, maybe they're having a challenge with their work and you have to step in to intervene. You've got this Two of Wands here as well, which suggests that maybe some of you could be helping a partner look for a new job. Maybe you're supporting them while they're in the transition between jobs. You know, and you're really helping build them up, which I actually think is really lovely. It just suggests that there's a fight with the relationship, but it's not you and your partner fighting each other. It's you fighting a situation together. When it comes to those of you that are single, I mean, yeah, your network is going to bring you your potential significant other. But I got to be honest with you, for now, it just looks like you've got much more pertinent missions ahead of you, to really put too much time into that, unless you're retired or no longer working. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Pentacles. So this is nice, right? So there could be a boost to the finances this week, but it is going to be one that you have to work harder for. It's like the extra money is there if you want it, but at the same time, so is the extra hard work. And we can say that because you've got the Two of Wands right above it. So it's not anything that you're not up to the task with, right? It's just how much of this time, energy, and effort do you want to put in? And is the reward that you're going to get out of it worth it? For those of you that are thinking about upskilling, or up leveling the skills or the resources that you can offer, this would be a good week to put the feelers out, but not necessarily to spend the money on such things. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Three of Pentacles is your bones, your structure, right? Like all of the hard assets, even your teeth, maybe. If there are challenges to anything like the teeth, actually, this week, it's likely to be either a child or a partner. It won't be yours. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, the Three of Pentacles is going to see you looking at what is possible when it comes to the home. Can you buy the home that you're in? Do you want to move, or do you want to improve it some way? Or like for some of you as well, I could see you looking at paperwork, maybe checking legislation to say, right, well, I want this done to the home that I'm in. Is there a chance that I can ask the landlord to do it? So it's almost like you're looking into the legalities of something. For your new moon message, you've got a new moon in the sign of Capricorn. You have the Gate 44 and Scenting. And this card always says to me, one, trust your instincts. So whatever your instincts tell you around that new moon is something that you definitely want to pay attention to. And it also reminds us that the people that we're tied to, loyalty is a two-way street, right? So it's important that, are you getting the loyalty that you put in? The new moon is really going to highlight this for you. Even though it is a dark moon, it really is going to see you kind of saying, okay, you know what, I don't get that loyalty from them, so maybe it's time to think about the ties that we have, right? And I've talked about the connections and who makes you feel good and who doesn't. Pay attention to this stuff over the course of the next 2 weeks. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a wonderful rest of the year and holiday season. I truly do wish you all of the best, and I'm so grateful for all of your support. It really does mean the world. Have a wonderful time of it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.